The story of the Book of Enoch is one of mystery, controversy, and profound intrigue, a tale that stretches back thousands of years to the dawn of religious tradition and myth. To understand why the Book of Enoch was banned and why its revelations about fallen angels and ancient giants have captured the imagination of generations, we must journey into the heart of ancient texts, religious councils, and the evolving beliefs of humanity. The Book of Enoch is not a single volume, but rather a collection of ancient writings attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. Enoch appears briefly in the book of Genesis, described as a man who walked with God and was not, for God took him. This enigmatic reference left room for legend, and over centuries, the figure of Enoch grew into one of the most mysterious and revered patriarchs in religious history. The Book of Enoch itself, sometimes called 1 Enoch to distinguish it from other Enochic writings, is an elaborate and imaginative apocalyptic text written in the centuries before the birth of Christ. It is believed to have been composed between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE, mainly by Jewish sages. The book was written in the ancient Ge'ez language, but was likely translated from earlier Hebrew or Aramaic originals. Its content is both fascinating and unsettling, offering a vivid account of the heavens, prophetic visions, and most notably, the tale of the Watchers, angels who descended to earth and forever altered the course of humanity. To understand why this book was banned, we must delve into its contents and the theological context of the time. The Book of Enoch begins with an introduction to Enoch's role as an intermediary between humans and the divine. He is shown as a scribe, a prophet, and a witness to cosmic events. But the heart of the narrative, and the source of much controversy, is the story of the Watchers. According to Enoch, the Watchers were angels assigned to watch over humanity, but these celestial beings became enamored with mortal women, and in defiance of divine law, they descended to earth, taking wives and teaching humanity forbidden knowledge. The union of these angels with human women produced a race of giants known as the Nephilim. These giants, Enoch writes, were enormous, violent, and destructive, consuming the resources of the world and threatening the balance of creation. The Watchers imparted to humanity secret knowledge, metalworking, cosmetics, astrology, and various magical arts. While these skills advanced human civilization, they also corrupted it, leading to war, vanity, and the spread of forbidden practices. Distressed by the chaos, the archangels appealed to God, who decreed a great judgment. The giants would be destroyed, the Watchers would be cast into darkness, and the earth would be cleansed by a great flood. This narrative, with its blend of cosmic rebellion, forbidden knowledge, and divine retribution, captivated ancient readers. It also raised profound questions about the nature of evil, the origins of sin, and the boundaries between the human and the divine. Yet, as influential as the Book of Enoch was, it was ultimately excluded from the Jewish and Christian biblical canons. The question arises, why? To answer this, we must consider the evolving nature of religious authority and the formation of the biblical canon. In the centuries before and after the life of Jesus, Jewish communities possessed a diverse array of scriptures and traditions. Some, like the Book of Enoch, enjoyed widespread popularity and were considered authoritative by certain sects, such as the Essenes, who preserved the Dead Sea Scrolls. Fragments of Enoch were discovered among these scrolls, indicating its importance to these early communities. However, as Judaism and Christianity developed, leaders sought to establish a definitive set of sacred texts, a canon. For Judaism, this process culminated in the formation of the Hebrew Bible, or Tanakh, by the end of the 1st century CE. The Book of Enoch, with its elaborate angelology, apocalyptic visions, and tales of fallen angels and giants, was considered too speculative and outside the mainstream of Jewish theology. Its teachings diverged from the emerging orthodoxy, which emphasized the Torah and the prophets, and its vivid descriptions of supernatural beings were seen as potentially dangerous or heretical. Christianity, in its formative centuries, faced similar challenges. Early Christian writers were familiar with the Book of Enoch. The Epistle of Jude, one of the books of the New Testament, even quotes directly from Enoch, warning of the coming judgment upon the wicked and referencing the prophecy of Enoch, the seventh from Adam. Early church fathers, including Tertullian, regarded Enoch as inspired, but opinions varied widely. As the Christian canon took shape in the 4th and 5th centuries, church leaders debated which texts should be considered authoritative. The Book of Enoch, with its complex cosmology, teachings about fallen angels, and stories of giants, posed a theological risk. Its narrative implied that evil entered the world not solely through human disobedience, as in the story of Adam and Eve, but also through the rebellion of angels and their illicit unions with humans. This challenged the emerging doctrine of original sin, which located the source of evil in human choices rather than supernatural interference. Moreover, the Book of Enoch's detailed descriptions of the heavens, the fate of souls, and the workings of angels went far beyond the boundaries set by canonical texts. Its speculative nature, blending folklore, myth, and visionary experience, was viewed with suspicion by those seeking to establish clear doctrine. The rise of Gnosticism and other heterodox movements, which often drew upon apocalyptic and esoteric texts, further motivated church authorities to distance themselves from writings like Enoch. Thus, the Book of Enoch was effectively banned, not through a single decree, but through a gradual process of exclusion. It was omitted from the official lists of sacred scriptures, and its teachings were marginalized. In the West, the book faded into obscurity, preserved only in fragments and references. In the East, however, it survived. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which had its own unique canon, preserved the Book of Enoch in its entirety, considering it an inspired work to this day. But what of the book's most controversial revelations, the fallen angels and the ancient giants? Why did these themes provoke such concern? The story of the Watchers and the Nephilim touches upon some of the oldest and most persistent questions in religious thought. Where does evil come from? Why do suffering and corruption exist in the world? In the Book of Enoch, evil enters the world not only through human disobedience, but through the actions of celestial beings who transgress the boundaries set by God. The Watchers, by sharing forbidden knowledge and mating with humans, introduce chaos and destruction. The resulting giants, the Nephilim, are depicted as monstrous beings who consume everything in their path, bringing ruin upon the earth. This narrative runs parallel to, but also departs from, the mainstream biblical account. In Genesis 6:1-4, there is a brief and cryptic reference to the sons of God taking wives from the daughters of men and producing mighty men of old, the Nephilim. The Book of Enoch expands this passage into a full-blown epic, detailing the names, sins, and punishments of the Watchers, and offering a powerful vision of divine judgment. For some early readers, these stories offered an explanation for the existence of evil and the origins of demonic forces. For others, they were seen as dangerous, speculative, and potentially misleading. The idea that angels could rebel, mate with humans, and create monstrous offspring challenged the emerging theological consensus about the nature of angels, sin, and redemption. As Christianity became the dominant religion of the Roman Empire, and as church councils sought to consolidate doctrine, there was a concerted effort to exclude texts that were seen as apocryphal or heretical. The Book of Enoch, with its vivid and unsettling portrayal of supernatural rebellion, was one of the casualties of this process. Yet, the story did not end there. The Book of Enoch continued to exert a powerful influence on mystics, theologians, and artists throughout history. Its themes resurfaced in the writings of the early church fathers, in medieval legends, and even in modern popular culture. The image of the Watchers, the giants, and the Great Flood endured, shaping the imagination of generations. In the 18th and 19th centuries, European explorers and scholars rediscovered the Book of Enoch in Ethiopia, bringing it once again to the attention of the world. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in the mid-20th century, with their numerous fragments of Enochic texts, confirmed that the book had been widely read and revered in ancient times. Today, the Book of Enoch is recognized as a window into the diverse and dynamic religious landscape of the ancient world. It offers a glimpse into the hopes, fears, and questions of those who lived in a time of uncertainty and change. Its banishment from the canon reflects not only the concerns of religious authorities, but also the enduring power of stories to challenge, inspire, and provoke. To sum up, the Book of Enoch was banned, not through a single act, but through a gradual process of exclusion, because its teachings about fallen angels and ancient giants were seen as speculative, potentially heretical, and at odds with emerging religious doctrine. Its vivid portrayal of supernatural rebellion and forbidden knowledge challenged the boundaries of accepted belief, raising questions about the origins of evil, the nature of angels, and the destiny of humanity. Yet, the very reasons for its exclusion are also the reasons for its enduring fascination. The Book of Enoch remains a testament to the power of myth, the complexity of faith, and the unending search for answers to the mysteries of existence. If we look deeper into the historical context, we can see that the Book of Enoch reflects a period of great transition and turmoil. The centuries in which it was written were marked by foreign domination, internal conflict, and a sense of impending crisis. The Jewish people living under successive empires, Persian, Greek, and Roman, grappled with questions of identity, survival, and hope. Apocalyptic literature, with its visions of cosmic struggle and ultimate redemption, offered solace and meaning in troubled times. The Book of Enoch belongs to this apocalyptic tradition. Its visions of heavenly journeys, angelic hierarchies, and the final judgment are part of a broader genre that includes the Book of Daniel, the Book of Jubilees, and later, the Book of Revelation. These texts share a common language of symbolism, prophecy, and cosmic conflict. In Enoch, the story of the Watchers serves as an allegory for the dangers of pride, disobedience, and the misuse of knowledge. The Watchers, meant to be guardians, become seducers. Their fall is not simply a matter of lust, but a transgression of divine order, a disruption of the boundary between heaven and earth. The giants, their offspring, symbolize the consequences of this rebellion: chaos, violence, and the breakdown of harmony. For ancient readers, these stories offered a way to make sense of the world's evils. The violence, suffering, and injustice they witnessed could be traced back to cosmic events, ancient transgressions that had set the world on a path of corruption. The flood, in this context, was not only a punishment, but a cleansing, a chance to restore order and begin anew. Yet, as religious leaders sought to define orthodoxy, such narratives posed a challenge. The idea that angels could fall, mate with humans, and create a race of monsters was unsettling. It blurred the lines between the human and the divine, the natural and the supernatural. It suggested that the world was shaped not only by human choices, but by forces beyond human control. As a result, the Book of Enoch was gradually set aside. Its teachings, once influential, were marginalized. In the rabbinic tradition, references to Enoch became rare and the book was largely forgotten. In the Christian West, it was known mainly through fragments and allusions. Yet, in Ethiopia, the Book of Enoch survived. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, with its ancient roots and distinctive traditions, preserved the book as part of its canon. For centuries, Enoch was read, studied, and revered by Ethiopian Christians, even as it remained unknown to much of the wider world. The rediscovery of the Book of Enoch in the modern era sparked renewed interest and debate. Scholars recognized its importance for understanding the development of Jewish and Christian thought. Its influence on the New Testament, especially the Epistle of Jude and the Book of Revelation, became clear. Its themes, rebellion, judgment, redemption, resonated with the spiritual questions of every age. In popular culture, the Book of Enoch has inspired countless interpretations. The story of the Watchers and the Nephilim has appeared in novels, films, and art, capturing the imagination of those who seek to explore the boundaries of myth and reality. In conclusion, the Book of Enoch was banned because its teachings about fallen angels and ancient giants were seen as speculative, heretical, and at odds with the emerging religious canon. Its vivid portrayal of cosmic rebellion and forbidden knowledge challenged the boundaries of accepted belief, raising questions that authorities found unsettling. Yet, the very elements that led to its exclusion have also ensured its survival. The Book of Enoch remains a powerful testament to the human search for meaning, a window into the mysteries of faith, and a reminder of the enduring power of stories to shape our understanding of the world. Through its pages, we glimpse a world of angels and giants, of cosmic battles and divine judgment. We encounter the hopes and fears of ancient peoples, their struggles to make sense of evil and suffering, and their dreams of redemption. And we are reminded that, even in the face of banishment and obscurity, the stories that matter most will find a way to endure. The Book of Enoch stands as a bridge between worlds, between the human and the divine, the past and the present, the known and the unknown. Its tale of fallen angels and ancient giants invites us to ponder the mysteries of existence, to question the boundaries of belief, and to seek wisdom in the stories of those who came before. As we reflect on the reasons for its banishment, we are reminded that the search for truth is rarely simple. The boundaries of orthodoxy are always shifting, shaped by the needs and fears of each generation. In the end, the Book of Enoch endures, not only as an ancient text, but as a living testament to the power of imagination, the complexity of faith, and the unending quest to understand the mysteries of creation. And if you're still here, maybe your soul just got touched in the deepest place. At Tales of Black, every story is a ritual, a reminder that some memories are not written in books, but in bone and blood. If this story stirred something in you, share it with someone still wandering. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what comes next. And if there's a legend, a memory, or a haunting you want told, leave it in the comments. Maybe your story is the next one summoned in the